Hello, 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 everyone. It is Dr. Nick, your favorite personal growth coach, and I am excited, as always, to be with you for another session of Adulting in My Purpose. This is Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we meet every week to learn more tools, to get more strategies, and to help millennials with personal growth and development so they too can see, own, and achieve their dreams, getting the personal and the soft skills that they need, tools that to equip them to move from where they are to where they want to be. That's what adulting in my purpose is for. And of course, even though I the focus is millennials, let me tell you, this information that we have gone through is for anybody who's watching. So for those that are out there that are looking for the first time, that may not know who I am, let me give you an official introduction. My name is Dr. Nicole Rankin. I am the CEO of the Cole Academy of Personal Growth. And we are a training and development company where we serve students in helping them develop the soft skills that they need for success, as well as the social emotional learning that they need. So we do leadership development, personal growth, and teach effective communication strategies. And not only do we work with students, we work with the leaders that support them as well. So that is an overview of a company and what we do, having a great time teaching personal growth and development. And Adulting in My Purpose came out of this the need that I have seen working with millennials and being a mentor to many, and that they were stuck and just needed guidance. So we developed this Adulting in My Purpose, and it's a personal growth movement for millennials, just to talk, to have a platform, to dialogue, to provide guests and professionals to help in their journey. So we've been having a great time. So I'm up today. Every week I try to bring in different things. Last week we had Latricia Pugh, who's a financial coach. She's a millennial doing amazing things. Before that, we had Dr. Gayla Gates, who came and provided us with some great strategies on health and wellness. So we've had amazing guests throughout the months. So if you haven't seen those, go back, watch the replay, get the nuggets, and continue on in this journey. I love being able to be in this space, and I love the millennials that I meet, that share, that come to provide feedback. We have a great time. So today is my night. Yay, I'm back. Today is my night, and so I was trying to think of, hey, Kenrick. Hey, Alexis, let me know that you're out there. So if you are out there for the first time, say hello. Don't be a stranger. Make sure you share and invite people, because we're just going to have a great conversation on this evening. So as I was thinking about what it is that, I wanted to talk about and wanted to share this evening, I thought about the fact that tomorrow we are moving into the first day of the last quarter of 2020. So this is fourth quarter living, y'all. So this is what we're going to talk about. How do we finish up 2020, better, stronger, wiser, just in a better position than when we started? 2020, we took a hit. We took a big hit, and it was just and we're still taking a hit on many aspects. But 2020 was a surprise for so many. There's so many loss, so many things with that has been shifted, so many things, so many changes, and that has come with the year of 2020. But it's not over. We have one more quarter in 2020. So how are we going to finish out 2020 strong and better than ever, because this is now going into the fourth quarter. And when I think about fourth quarter living, there are certain things that, I personally want to do. And I think about honing in and finish those things, that thinking about what I wanted to do for the year, looking at my goals, looking at the things that I had set for 2020, and doing that reflection. No, it's not the first day of the rest of my life here. It's the first day of the fourth quarter of 2020. So we're talking about fourth quarter living. So today I'm going to share, I love the story of the preacher on the roof. And for those that haven't heard, it goes like this. There was a preacher that lived in a village that was filled with rainstorms. And one day he was at the church. Rainstorms grew stronger. The storm came in, and the village started to flood. And the pastor is in the church. Everybody's trying to go and go for shelter. But the pastor goes to the roof and says, "Lord, please save me so I can continue to preach your gospel." But the waters kept rising. And the moment that the preacher said that prayer, the Coast Guard rescue team came and floating by in a rowboat and said, "Come down. The boat is here. You can get on the boat." But the preacher said, "No, sir. I'm sure the Lord will stop the rain and save me." An hour later goes by, and a second boat approaches the parish when the water is close to the roof. And the person says, "Sir, come on quickly, jump in." But the preacher said, "Thank you, but I'll stay right here. The Lord will provide. I am certain that the rain will stop any minute now." A couple hours later, the roof is almost completely underwater, and the preacher is clinging on to the satellite dish at the top of the roof. And the helicopter approaches the roof. "Sir, grab the rope. Pull yourself up. We are here for you." And the preacher says, "No, go. I'm all right. My Lord will provide a sanctuary." And he looks heavenly. And after the helicopter flew away, a lightning strikes the satellite dish, and the preacher is killed. He arrives furiously at the pearly gates and asks, "Why did you allow this to happen? I thought the Lord, for sure you will provide." And in a thunderous voice, the Lord says, "Man, give me a break. I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter." So, guys, this is where we talk about opportunity. This is fourth quarter living. So what opportunity are you allowing to pass by? Have you allowed to pass by without starting the things that you know that you wanted to do in the beginning of 2020? So I want you to go back and think about those things. I know many of us, we do vision boards. We may do New Year's resolutions. So what are those things that you wrote down? What are the things that you put on the vision board going into 2020 that you have yet to accomplish, yet to start, yet to even think about because of all that has happened? Now is the time that I want you to be able to reflect on those and get those things in your mind, because we are going to talk about how are we going to make sure that 2020, the remainder, the last 3 months, is better than we started. So I have 5 questions. I always like my points. We have 5 questions today that I want you to ask yourself as we are talking about adulting in the fourth quarter. So go ahead, get your notes. The first question up is, what do I want? What do you want? What do you want? In order to finish out 2020 strong, you got to know what it is that you want. You just can't go living life willy-nilly, not knowing, just going with the flow, not focused, not having any direction. Because if you do that, then it's going to end up the way you started, because nothing is going to happen. We know the definition of insanity. If you keep doing the same things over and over again, you'll get expecting a different result. It's insanity. It won't happen. So you're going to have to do something different. So what is it that you really want? What is it that you really, really want? What are the things that you're passionate about? What are the things that, what are the causes? What are the needs that you feel that you want to be a part of that just drives you? What are the things that, that keeps you up at night? What are the things, the ideas and thoughts that keep in your mind that you keep saying, man, I should do this, or man, I really should do that. Or I want to do this, or I want to do that. What are those things that are heavily in your mind and in your spirit? What are the things that you feel that you have been called to do that you have not made moves for? You see, this is the time when we talk about fourth quarter living. It's game on. It's game on. So think about those things. What is it that you really want to do? And once you get that focus, I always love the story of the GPS. And I use this analogy very often because it's so powerful. When you think about a GPS, the only 2 points that you need is where you're starting and your destination. You got to know where you want to go. So a lot of times in life, we don't have that clarity of where we want to go. And we're so busy trying to figure out how to get to the destination, and we have no clue of where we're going. So now is the time to get that laser focus, to hone in and to figure it out what it is that you want. What is it that you want to do? We have 3 months left. So think about all the things that you thought about going into the new year of 2020, things that you decided, that goals that you had set that had fell by the wayside. Now is the time to step up going into the last quarter of the year, understanding with clarity, what do I want? And know that when you're going to and understanding and identifying, you may not have the things that you need to have to get there. Okay. So let me be clear that you may not have the resources. You may not have the money. You may not have the knowledge. You may not have the right people around you. You may not have the support. You may not. But you know what? That's okay, because this is the time where you need to get focused and get a plan on what you want, because you have to have that no quit attitude. I'm reminded of a story of a young girl and who was open at home, and the doorbell rang, and it was a salesperson selling carpet cleaner. And the gentleman said, hello, good morning, or good afternoon, little girl, is your mom home? And the girl called her mom to the door. And the first thing out the mom's mouth that says, sir, we don't need anything that you're selling right now. And the salesman says, please, ma'am, just let me show you my product. I haven't sold anything all day. And as soon as he said that, the young girl says, sir, how many doors have you been to today? And the salesman looked at the young girl and said, well, I've been to around 30. And the girl looked up at the salesman and she continued and said, did you know that Walt Disney was turned down 303 times before Disneyland got financed? She then said, did you know that Michael Jordan missed more than 9,000 shots in his career? She said, did you know that Colonel Sanders spent 2 years driving across all the states asking restaurant owners to buy his chicken recipe and got turned down 1,010 times? And she looked up at the salesman, and the salesman had nothing to say. See, in this last quarter, you got to have that no quit attitude that says, no matter what, once I get in my mind what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go after it. If I don't know, I'm going to figure it out. If I don't have the right people, I'm going to find them. If I don't have the finances, I'm going to figure out a way to get the income that I need to make sure that I can do the things that I want to do. So this is the idea idea of knowing what you want. That's right, Alexis. You still just have to make it happen. The right people will come, because once you get started, that's when the doors of opportunity open, right? That's when you open yourself and you move into a space when you're able to attract the things that you need. But you can't do that standing still. It's just not going to come to you. You can wish upon a star, you can rub a lamp, you can pray, but faith without works is dead. You got to put in the work, but you got to know what you want. And you got to be laser focused. So that's the first number question is, what do I want to do? Question number 2 is, why do I want to do it? And I talk about this all the time because you have to know your why. You have to know why you're going to do what you're going to do, because when the going gets tough, it's going to be easy to do the same thing that you did all year to get you to this point. It's going to be so easy to throw in the towel. But when you know your why, and your why, one of my mentors says, your why, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. See, it has to be greater, a big concern, or a big reason for you to keep motivated and keep moving in the direction that you need to move in to get from where you are to where you want to be. It's your why that's going to motivate you. I love the quote by Michael Jr. that says, when you know your why, then your what has more impact, because now you're working towards your purpose. And that's just a powerful quote that says, now, when you know your why, it's ingrained in you. It becomes a part of you. It becomes the fiber of your being. And there's nothing that can stop you, because you see the greater good. You have a greater vision as to what it is that you want to do. So you got to know your why. So as you're thinking about what is it that you're going to accomplish for this last final quarter of 2020, know why you want to do it. And your why can vary. It could be that you want freedom. It could be that you want to live a legacy. It can be that you want to lose weight and you want to live a healthier life. It can be that you want to put yourself in a better position than other people that in your generation. You want to break generational curses. What is it that you want to do, and why is it that you want to do it? This is going to help you stay focused in fourth quarter. I love what Alexa said. You have to say, work in your sweet spot. I love it. I love when I say, talk about that sweet spot. What is it that you want? What is when your passion and your purpose and your mission and your profit all comes together in that sweet spot? You got to know why you want to do it. So as we are entering in this final quarter, right? Why is it that you are going to do what you want to do? You're going to finish out strong, but why? And I want you to think about that, and I want you to think about it on a deeper level. Don't just reflect on it. Let this truly be this time, because there have been many this time that we have said, oh, I'm going to lose weight this time, or I'm going to try this course this time, or I'm going to go back to school this time. There is always a this time, right? But make this time be the time, because the end of 2020, we're going to set ourselves up and position ourselves in a place to win coming into the new year of 2021. And I don't know about you, but I surely need 2021 to look a lot different than it did in 2020. It was good and things happened, but we want it to be better. So now is the time that we have to start and position ourselves, right? We can't wait till we get to January 2021 talking about, well, what is it that I want to do? No, this is the time. This is the time that you do it. This is the time that you put the plans together, figure out what you want, and identify why you want to do it. So that is question number 2. Why do I want to do it? Why do I want to do what I want to do? Okay. So question number 3, as we're talking about adulting in the fourth quarter, is, what do I have to do? Now, this is a question of priorities. And this, like I said, we have been positioned to do a lot of things. But as the law of priorities says, activity does not necessarily mean accomplishment, right? We can be busy doing a lot of things and we are not getting any closer to the things, the goals, the dreams, the visions that we have set for ourselves. But we're just busy, 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 busy here, busy there, doing this, doing that, but not accomplishing anything that is in alignment with where we are desiring to go. So you got to now prioritize. What is it that you have to do? Now, there are things in life that we have to do, right? Whether you're working 9 to 5, whether you have a job, whether you're taking care of your kids, you have a spouse, whatever it is that there is nobody else that can do what it is that you do. Now, those are the things that you prioritize. But there are some things that you can delegate. There are some things that you can just take off your plate. So what are the things that you are going to focus on, that you're going to narrow yourself into, then hone in, that's going to get you to that next level? When I think about this fourth quarter living and doing what you have to do in order to finish strong and make things happen, I'm always reminded, and everybody who knows me knows that I am not a football person. So I'm going to throw out some teams. If it's your team, great. If it's not, but I am not a football person. But I did watch the Super Bowl in 2017. I do watch the Super Bowl. I do that much. So I watched the Super Bowl in 2017. And I'm always reminded when I think about that fourth quarter living, how the Falcons and the Patriots were playing, and the Falcons in the fourth quarter, 28-29, had the lead. But there was something that happened, and the Patriots took the win for 34-28 in the fourth quarter. And it baffles me. I mean, like I said, I'm not a football person, and I was just watching it, and I'm like, what just happened? I don't understand what's going on. But what I do know, and the people, all my football people can have theories about, why the Falcons lost and why they dropped the ball and why they just collapsed in the fourth quarter. But I'm focusing on what was it that allowed the Patriots to hone in on that last quarter and finish out strong. You see, they got focused. They knew what they had to do in order to make this win. They got a plan. They got the people in the right place, and they went to work. It wasn't a matter. They didn't give up the towel. They knew they had that no quit option, and they went to work to do what they had to do to finish out strong. And that is the type of attitude. That is the type of persistence. That is the type of determination that we need to have going into the fourth quarter of 2020. We need to have that no quit, that we were down. It was a loss. We had some losses. We had some ups. We had some downs in 2020, but this is the last quarter. And we need to get in that mindset that we're going to finish and we're going to win this. And that, I believe, is that attitude that they had to come back to win in the fourth quarter. And so that's the strategy. So what is it that you have to do? What are the strategies that you need? What are the things that you need to put in place in order to get from where you are to where you want to be so you can finish out this year strong? You have to know what is it that you want to do and get that plan together. And you, as I said, you want to make your next moves your best moves. And that's going to take you through the last 3 months and set you up, because that's what we want to do. We want to set up. We want to be set up for the win of 2020. You have to, that's right, Alex, be a fourth quarter player and know that you're going to finish and you're going to go hard. You're going to grind. You are going to do what you need to do to finish out this quarter strong. So what is it that you need? And it may vary for everybody. So depending on your goal, this is the time you take. This is you get in your huddle. Just like the quarterback brings the team together to discuss the strategy, discuss the plan, that's what you need to do. If you need to talk to people, if you need to talk to a mentor, talk to a coach, talk to your confidants, get that plan together, get that strategy together, get the priorities together of what you need to do in order to finish out strong. So that is the third question that you have to ask yourself. What do I have to do to finish out fourth quarter of 2020 strong? And the next question, I know, what is it that you need to stop doing? What is it that you need to stop doing? We are so have an affinity for lists. We can list our to-do list. It can be this long grocery list of things to do. And we find that we're so busy that we can't even get through number 3 or number 5 on our list. And we have like 25 things that we have to do on our list. So what is it that you can stop doing? Now, you need to know that we have 24 hours in a day. We have 86,400 seconds in a day. So what are you going to do to be effective in order to finish out the last quarter of the year strong? When are you going to stop doing? I recently, a friend of mine hooked me up onto this Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma. Now, have you all watched that? Oh my, it is an eye opener. And I haven't even got through half of it. I started watching it and I was just like blown out. And I was like, I don't want to be a victim no more. So I stopped watching it. But it is, if you haven't seen it, it is something that is going to blow your mind, because what it does, it shows you the impact and the effect that social media is having on people. And it not only it shows the effect, it shows the intent, right? So you have all of these technology developers. Yeah, it is on Netflix. It's on Netflix, called The Social Dilemma. It's a must-have. There are tech people and developers on Facebook, from Google, from Instagram, and all of those other social medias that's telling you that they feel ethically and morally at risk because they know that they are intentionally doing things with the social media platform to get you hooked. And they equivalent to a drug. And they talk about this, how they put the algorithms in place to get you hooked, to get you wanting more, to get you wanting to be able to see more of the things that you like. It's intentional, and how they play with your psychological powers and thinking about to get you on social media. So what are the things that you need to stop doing? I am, this is to myself too, because I can be calling to myself and say, well, I'm just going to check my email for just 2 seconds. And then 10, 20 minutes later, I'm still scrolling and on different platforms and liking. And so that is a distraction, right? So that is something that for me, I don't know about you. And I'm sure that if you can think about your day, what are some of the things that you can stop doing and use that time more wisely and more productively to get to doing what are the things that you need to do in order to figure out and finish out fourth quarter the strongest, better, and than you ever had. Because we need to reclaim our time, right? We only have a certain amount of time in a day. So think about all the things that you're doing and ask yourself, what are some of the things that I can stop doing? What are some of the things that maybe I even can delegate? It may not, you may can do it, but there are some people that can do it better than you can, or you can empower some people to do some of the things that you're doing, and teach them how to do it, so you can build them as leaders. So think about these things and the things that your activities that you're doing, and ask yourself, do I really need to be doing this? And like I said, this is that fourth quarter living. This may be something that you can pick up later on, but we're talking about positioning yourself in the next 3 months so that you can see a new year and reap the harvest of the seeds that you are planting now. So 2021 can be one of the best years that you ever had. And it can happen, but you got to prepare beforehand. You got to do the work beforehand. So there are things that you are doing, activities, time wasters, distraction, could be things, could be people. Who are you? Who are you hanging around? Who are you allowing to be a distraction for you that's causing you not to lose focus on where you're going? So think about it. What can you stop doing? And once you get this and get these things, identify these things, this is when you want to cut them off, find an alternative, find a way to delegate it, or totally just take it off your plate. And then not only that, replace it with the things that you have to do that you identified in the question before. What are the things that you have to do? So now you have accumulated more time in order to do the things that you need to do. So one, you got to know what you want. Two, you got to know why you want it. Three, you got to know what you need to do. Four, you need to know what you need to stop doing. And lastly, is something that I like to ask myself, and I need to do this more often, is what can I do that brings me joy? And the reason this is so important is because that, you know, as we said, 2020, it has been a year. It has been a year. We can all agree on that. And, you know, but sometimes you have to take the time for yourself in order to find joy, in order to find some fulfillment and satisfaction in the life that you're living. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that you can do that brings you joy? Maybe you have a hobby, maybe you have an extracurricular activity that you like to do that you have allowed to go to the wayside, or you allowed to go to the back burner because of everything that's going on, and you've neglected yourself. You neglected the things that you love to do. You've neglected the things that you are passionate about. You've neglected the things that bring you joy. So in this last quarter, I want you to revisit those things. I want you to pick up that sewing machine and crochet some sweaters or some baby socks, or you know, or go out and bowling. If read a book, if that's something that you put away. Side from me, people know my favorite pastime is dancing, and so I am going to commit to myself to incorporating that back into my daily or weekly routine. I used to do it all the time, something that I love to do. That brings me joy. So you got to find out, what is it that you like? What is it that you have a passion about that you just you put down because of all the things that have been going on for 2020. I want you to at least just one thing, and to do that maybe once a week, right? Incorporate that into your life, incorporate that into your plan, and be intentional about what it is that you do that brings you joy, and making sure that you're spending time with the people and the things that are important and meaningful to you. So you want to be able to grind, to go after your goals, to do the things that you want to do, but you also want to be mindful that you have to live in the present and their present time, and enjoy the life that you're living with the people that you love, and wanting to share the life that you're building and you're working so hard for. So what can you do that brings you joy? So these are some of the things that, as we go into the final quarter, October 1st is tomorrow. So we're starting now. So even as you're listening, as you're reflecting on these five questions, as you know, once we end this session and you're going to bed and you're thinking about, what is it that I want? And why do I want it? And what can I do to get it? What is it the things that I have to do? What are some of the things that I can stop doing so I can reclaim some of my time, so I can prioritize, so I can maneuver and make some better moves and be more productive with my day, with my week, with my months? And what are some of the things that I can incorporate in my life and bring back makes me happy, that makes me smile, that brings me joy? And that is how we're going to finish out 2020 strong. Alice says, just laughing brings me joy. Absolutely. You know, life we know is hard and we have to find the joy in it. So those are five questions I want you to think about as we're going into the final quarter. We're going to have fourth quarter living, be a fourth quarter player. We're going to finish out strong. We're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to move outside of our comfort zone, do something different, do something that you wanted to do that you've never done before. Move outside the comfort zone. We know greatness never happens inside the comfort zone. So now is the time for you to take the risk. Now is the time for you to step out on faith. Now is the time for you to do the things that you desire, that's in your heart to do. Now is the time. And it's fourth quarter, baby. Game on. Game on. So I hope that something I said was helpful to you. I just wanted to just share those things with you. And I'm going to leave you, I'm going to leave you with this video as we close out our time and session tonight. All right, guys, it's fourth quarter living. Who's ready? Who's ready to get in the game? Who is ready to make this year and finish out 2020 stronger, better, wiser, more productive than they started? The choice is yours. This is the time to do it. So we will meet back here. Again, I hope something was said that will help you and motivate you to finish out 2020 strong. We will be back here again next week, Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here again for more adulting in my purpose.